Okay, the early week NBL action continues with games both on Tuesday with the Hawks taking on the JackJumpers and on Wednesday with the Breakers heading over to Brisbane to take on the Bullets. Now, before we get into it, don't forget, subscribe to this channel and get direct updates and notifications of our tips for the basketball. Now, let's jump on into the action. Tuesday sees the JackJumpers and Illawarra going head-to-head. Both teams coming off losses. The Illawarra have actually lost twice. JackJumpers lost their first game in 9 matches against Southeast Melbourne recently. Now, the Hawks, top of the table, but have lost 2 in a row. Had a very brutal schedule of 5 games in 12 days over the Christmas period. So they could be forgiven for dropping some games, but maybe not against Cairns as the worst team in the NBL. But let's break this one down. Look, give the Hawks a little bit of a break here because of their schedule and are favouring them to beat the JackJumpers in Illawarra on Tuesday. Look, Southeast Melbourne pretty much did exactly what you need to do to beat Tasmania, and that is put pressure on the JackJumpers in the paint, while also obviously playing some good defense on Milton Doyle and Jordan Crawford for most of the game. Look, that's the key, and I think this matchup really works for the Hawks because they are the strongest team in the paint this season. They average 51.4 points in the paint, while the JackJumpers are ranked 7th in opposition points in the paint with 41.7 per game. So we're gonna see, obviously, Sam Frawling have a big game. I also expect a big game from Trey Kell. Trey Kell has been arguably the MVP of the Hawks so far this season and can score from the perimeter, but also likes to drive hard to the basket. So expect him to do that in this game, and Sam Frawling also to build his presence just like Geordie Hunter and Matt Hurt did for the Phoenix against the JackJumpers just a couple of days ago. So tips for this one: Illawarra are going to need to break away from the JackJumpers. They do not like playing in games that, are close, and have actually lost more of close games that have been less by 6 points than actually won games by less than 6 points. So expect them to break away early, putting a lot of pressure on the JackJumpers, and skip away to a win over the margin of 5.5 points, while Sam Frawling will score 15 plus and Trey Kell will get 20 plus points. Now, Wednesday's match, you have the Breakers going up against Brisbane. Now, this is a really defining game for me for the Brisbane Bullets, more so than the New Zealand Breakers. Obviously, the Breakers are still missing PJC, but it has unlocked a part of their offense that they did not know they had before. But back to Brisbane. Look, they've lost 3 in a row. They had some tough competition over the holiday season, and they now need to get a win against the Breakers, who are missing, obviously, their best player in Parker Jackson Cartwright. I don't like this matchup for Brisbane, though, and that is very unfortunate for the Bullets. Taco Fall has been unlocked by Petri Koppanen now, finally, and they're getting the most out of him, especially on offense. Fall has scored 49 points and has 21 rebounds in the past 2 games. Look, and his combination now with Matt Mooney, with Parker Jackson Cartwright out, has really made both of them flourish. Mooney has scored 51 points and has 16 assists in these 2 games without PJC as well. And I think this combination really works. We go back to the statistic points in the paint again. Brisbane have Tyrell Harrison and should be extremely strong in that area, but they've been absolutely dominated in these last 3 losses, with their opponents outscoring them 172 to 106 in the paint. Look, Taco Fall is an absolute monster in the area, and this is going to cause some big problems for Brisbane. I expect Taco Fall to continue to score, scoring 15 plus points in this one. And Matt Mooney is the guy that does unlock him. So expect 6 plus assists for him. And I'm going to even say Breakers getting 5.5 point head start in Brisbane. I like them to cover, and do not be surprised if they snatch a victory in Brisbane, where they have actually won 7 of their past 8 matches. So they're your tips for Tuesday and Wednesday in the NBL. Now just remember, gamble responsibly and happy punting.